Okay, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the screw slider block. So I'm going to go into a new design. I'm going to save that as the screw slider block. Hit save. Then the first step I'm always going to take when I do a new file is File, New Component. And do that as the screw slider block. Hit OK. First thing I want to do is I want to create a sketch. I'm going to pick that face here. And then again, I'm going to follow through with the same draw lines. And I am just going to rough in that same shape we talked about before. Okay, and then I'm going to apply those same constraints. So I want the midpoint constraint. I want the midpoint of that line to be at the origin, shifts things over. Second constraint is I want to do collinear. So choose that line and that line there. Okay, hit OK. So now if I move one, should move them both. Looks good. Last thing is I want to do the horizontal vertical. So I'm going to hit my shift key, find that midpoint, go down to the origin, hit OK. All right, so now things should be looking pretty good. Moves up and down, those move up and down, and when I move these lines, they should shift out as well. Okay, so that at least gets us to the starting point. So let's start adding some dimensions. Okay, so let's start adding some dimensions. So first one here is the height of the first ledge. Go out here, and we're going to be at 0.355. Okay, wow, that really changed my sketch. Next step is from here to here is going to be that 0.141. Then our overall height is going to be 0.844. And then our overall width is going to be 0.734. All right, and that gets us into the shape that we talked about before. I'm going to hit my finish sketch. Take me out here, and then I'm going to go through the same process for extrusion. I'm going to pick there. I want to do symmetrical so I can stay on that origin piece. Okay, do my distance. My distance is going to be, let me check my drawing real quick. Hold on for a second. Okay, that distance is that 1.75. Hit OK. All right, so now we have our roughed in shape. So now let's take a look at, start adding those additional details. Okay, so let's take a look at modify. We want to do our chamfer. We're going to do the same selection. So we're going to pick 1, 2 edges, 3 edges, 4 edges, 5, 6, through the drawing. Gives me my 8. Distance, and then my distance is going to be that 0.125. Actually, let me verify real quick. Yep, 0.125, and hit OK. Awesome, that looks good. Okay, so now for the hole. Now, if you think back to the drawing, take a look at it. You actually had, let's see here, yep, we have two features. We have the hole that goes through the top, and then on the bottom, we have this regular hexagon component or feature. So we're going to start off with the hole. So I'm going to do a new sketch. I'm going to pick the top face. I want to create a point. And since I use that origin, that's going to be in the center. I use this symmetrical extrusion. Then I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to go through and select my hole. Select the point, and then I'm going to go through. It's not going to be a distance, it's going to be a through hole, so all. It's going to be a simple hole, no tap, drill point, and so hit actually, no, not 0.165. Let me take a look at my drawing. The diameter is 0.177. Let's go back to Fusion. 0.177 and hit OK. So that gives me a hole. So now let's take a look and think about that last piece here. Okay, so this next part is one of the main reasons I wanted to go ahead and make this set of videos. So we have this hexagon that we're going to create on the bottom. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to choose that as the face. And what I'm going to do is, the thing I'm going to select is I'm going to create polygon, and I'm going to say circumscribed polygon. I want to pick that origin as my face, and then I'm going to just draw this out. So it defaults to 6, which is good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just kind of rough it in, and I'm going to show you how to set this up where it goes right. Okay, so go ahead and put that in. Then what I can do is do the same constraints where we do this horizontal vertical. And then what I can pick is I can pick the edge here, or the joint here, and then say with the origin, and that is going to align those. If I look at the drawing, that's how we are aligned. So now, if you remember, now we can go through and do the dimensions. And if I looked at my drawing, my dimensions are going to be 0.386, 0.386. So I go back to my drawing. I'm going to use this dimension tool in order to do that. So I'm going to select those two lines that they're doing the dimension for, go out here, and then I'm going to do my 0.386. Hit enter, and then that gives me my constrained location with the appropriate dimensions. I'm going to hit my finish sketch, and then that's going to be where I'm going to be at. So now I need to go back and look at my Watford. So it's 0.255. 0.255 is how far that thing goes in. So I'll go back here. I'm going to hit my, select that portion. I'm going to do my extrusion. And since it's wanting to go down, I'm going to say minus 0.255. And then that is going to give me my completed part. All right. Okay, so final words of wisdom. I put these together late on a Sunday. So I reserve the right to have made some errors, but like directionally, this is a way in order to create these parts, and hopefully this avoids a lot of the headaches that come with trying to figure out some of these tricks prior to them having kind of gone over them in detail. So hopefully that helps.